want to share a couple things. All right, here we go. The X-Men's coming to you live on YouTube, and we're gonna do my Sunday recap, except for the Giants game tonight, which is a later game. I decided I want to do this every Sunday, possibly if I can, everything permitting. So basically, here we are. It is pretty crazy NFL day, and you know, the team that probably caught my eye the most was probably the Chicago Bears when they won in London today. Now, granted, the Jacksonville Jaguars are now 1-5, so it's hard to make a real vibe on the Bears. And I know people are going to say Caleb Williams was, amazing, but he was okay. I mean, but at the end of the day, really, in reality, we have to really look at it from this standard that he has DJ Moore on his team. He has Cole Kemet. And the Bears played really good and they beat the Jaguars up pretty bad today. But I mean, again, at 4-2, the Bears are right there, They're right there neck and neck with the Packers, which was another team that won pretty simple today. They looked pretty good, but the Texans really are like putting their stride. The Texans at 5-1 right now. Tank Dell's playing good. I forget what the hell's his name? Stephon Diggs, yeah. I mean, Diggs played pretty good today too. C.J. Stroud's playing lights out. The Texans are winning games, and they looked pretty good. And you know, it was a pretty big thing. But the Houston Texans are looking pretty good today. So anyway, we're right here, and the Texans really at 5-1, they could be the scary team this year. I know everybody's going to say the Chiefs, the Chiefs, the Chiefs, the Chiefs, the Chiefs, who haven't really played that great, by the way. I don't even think they played this weekend. I don't think. But yeah, they're pretty much Houston's pretty tough to beat right now. Obviously the Philadelphia Eagles won today. At the end of the day, I don't know necessarily if. Hello, how you doing? Um, the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles winning today. Both AJ Brown and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith both with touchdowns. So the Eagles, they squeaked by. Nick Sirianni, I don't know if he's going to cack it as the Eagles head coach, but we'll see where we're at. I'm on here. I'm showing all this stuff. I'm showing everything on here. I can't believe we got 14 people watching this. That's good. That's a good start for my following. But the Eagles with a win, and they're 3-2. They're barely alive, but they're there. I think if they stay in the race, they might have a chance with it. But we'll see what happens with the Philadelphia Eagles. The one that really gets me today, and I probably, hello, the one that really gets me crazy is the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott really went out there today and tanked. I mean, he's getting paid like 40 something plus million dollars right now. You get some weird people in here. I didn't get on this live to see weird people, but either or. I guess it's early wake up time over on the other side of the world. Crazy how you got all these content, 14 viewers on here. But yeah, the Dallas Cowboys really tanking the bed today was like kind of a crazy one. I didn't really expect Dallas to lose like that. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott throwing so many interceptions. I just don't see how they're going to survive as a team. I don't know. Like, if I were the Dallas Cowboys, or even though Jerry Jones is the main problem, I feel like Jerry Jones needs to fire McCarthy, and he needs to bench Dak, just because he played so bad today. I mean, the Lions are a good team, but the Dallas Cowboys really, really have some issues going on out there, and we'll see what happens with them at 3-2. I think they're 3-3 now. They look like an 8-8 football team. So they're pretty much on the downside of everything, and you know we'll see what happens. Anyway, another one that I wanted to talk about too today that was a little bit crazy was my favorite one every week. It seems to be worse and worse for them is the Las Vegas Raiders and their tank job. Now I get it; they don't have a quarterback. At the end of the day, I think at the end of the day, when you have Aiden O'Connell as your starting quarterback, you really give yourself up as a person, as a team that can't really win anything. I just don't see how the Raiders are going to go with this. If they were smart, maybe they go out and they try to get Russell Wilson and try to bring him in and see what he does and whatnot. But I really don't know. I really don't know what the Raiders are going to do. They're now what 3-2-4. Now you got to kind of look at things. What's next? And I think they have to play a tough team next week too, from what I'm seeing. But I don't know. I mean, it's just embarrassing as the for it to be a Raider right now because the way the Raiders just can't put points on the board and they just don't have it. Scientology's church. I have no clue what that is. You'd have to enlighten me on that. I could say this: Donald Trump 2024. That's the only thing I would probably tell you about that. But anyway, as I said, the Oakland Raiders, um, or the Las Vegas Raiders, with their terrible loss today. I don't know. I like Antonio Pierce, but I don't know if he's going to have enough tools to keep that team floating. So we'll see what happens with him at the end of the year. But the word interim is now intern. Also, the Bucks beat the Saints. Bucks getting 51 points was kind of crazy today too. Tampa Bay Buccaneers looking really good. They look like a solid team too, just like the Green Bay Packers, just like the Lions. I mean, it may shape out to be very interesting with a couple teams this year. An old North division and then a bunch of new North divisions all together in one conference. You know, ultimately, then we also have the rundown. The Colts beat the Titans. I mean, that's probably like I don't think neither one of the teams are any threat. The Chargers beating the Broncos. Yeah, the Chargers beating the Broncos is something, but it didn't really. I don't really understand Busy Ho. Some of these guys on here are crazy. I keep seeing all this crazy stuff, but yeah, like the Eagles pulled off a victory today, so they're 3-2. Commanders took a loss, but the Commanders played the Ravens. I mean, that was probably the toughest game of the season so far. They're still at 4-2 though, so they're still half a game ahead of the Philadelphia Eagles. So at the same time, that division is going to be very close at the end of the day, much like many of these conferences are going to do. Yeah, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers really poured it on today. Let's see what happened with Tampa Bay today. And Baker, that's even crazier. Baker Mayfield had 4 TDs and still had 3 picks in the whole game. Yeah, Curtis Godwin got 2 touchdowns. That's what it is. I mean, that's where you're at, and the fact that Shane Rattler is in there. Yeah, the Orleans Saints are in big trouble, but Tampa Bay Buccaneers they look pretty good at 4-2. Even though Baker Mayfield threw the 3 picks, they still won the football game. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are right there. We'll see where it goes. The season's starting to play out a little bit different now. But the Steelers beating up on the Raiders like that, and I told people that the Steelers could possibly win 12. They're at 4-2 right now. So let's see what happens. Obviously Justin Fields is out there, and he's didn't really do much. It doesn't look like. But Najee Harris got a TD. Aiden O'Connell is absolutely ridiculously terrible. I can't believe that the Raiders would go into a season and not have a quarterback, and I can't believe the Cowboys overpaid for Doc. The Dallas Cowboys they're in big trouble. They're if I were them, I would seriously think about getting rid of Mike McCarthy right now because I think He's got to go soon. You can't have a team that's 3-3 at this juncture of the season played the way that they played at home against Detroit. Detroit really set the bar. Kudos to the Lions for coming out there and really setting the bar against the Cowboys. I actually thought that the refs had a lot to do with last year when the Cowboys won by one, and they still couldn't get past it. So my pretty much my take on it, my impressive teams, obviously the Steelers at 4-2 right there. The Commanders lost, but they still looked pretty good. The Bears, they haven't beat anybody really good yet, but they are 4-2. I don't know how, for the Bears to be 4-2 right now, that's pretty crazy. Um, the Lions are what 4-1. Detroit Lions might be your team. I don't know. I don't want to say it that quickly, but let's see what we got now tonight. Yeah, the Giants. Who are they playing again? The Giants are at home and they're playing the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to come out and beat the Giants. I just don't see the Giants being able to put points on the board against a guy like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is probably going to have a field day with that Giants defense, but we'll see what happens. It's a stack up right now. I mean, the Eagles are 3-2, but they don't look that powerful. It looks like there's a lot of craziness going on out there. But yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at with it. I saw a lot of craziness today. The Ravens really came out and really played good. Lamar Jackson played okay. You know, and that's what really happened. But Zay Flowers, he had 9 receptions, 132 yards. Derrick Henry had 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry is going to be tough for the Raiders, or the Ravens rather. Derrick Henry's really going to be good for the Ravens. I mean, I don't know if the Ravens will be able to dethrone Kansas City, but it's I think the Houston Texans are creeping right down their neck. So if the Ravens don't watch out, the Houston Texans will probably take the Ravens out, and I don't know what they'll do with the Chiefs. It just depends on if Taylor Swift paid the refs enough money to do that. But either or, that's my really recap of it. The Green Bay Packers game. I mean, that's a team that they just should have beat. Jordan Love really had 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, 258 yards. Ain't great, but you know, it's pretty crazy. Christian Watson had a touchdown, 68, 3 catches. Neptune, you should fart on a giant glizzery. I don't know what that means. I have no clue what that means. I'm talking football and you're talking dumb stuff. I feel like some of these people are like on here for like TikTok or something. Um, but the Green Bay Packers, yeah, they looked pretty impressive at 4-2. They crept back in it. I mean, the Eagles got them early in the year, but other than that, I think the Packers, ever since Jordan Love got that injury, I think the Packers have stepped up and they kind of just went right into it. There's no clear cut favorite right now as far as like winning championships, but right now my team. There's 2 teams really. I mean, I could say the Steelers right now. The Steelers and the Texans are the two most impressive teams in the NFL right now for me. And I'm glad the Steelers are kind of getting back to it and getting back out there and getting back to somewhat of a winning way for the moment, because they need to. Because they've been down for a while. Yeah, the Jets, but to see the Jets, we'll see what happens tomorrow night. If Josh Allen's on though, then you're gonna know it ain't Robert Saleh. It was Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Drama Queen Rodgers, and his drama, because Aaron Rodgers, and I'll say this again, and I can't say nothing until after tomorrow's night's game to really deduce it down the way I need to, because if they lose and they lose bad, I'm really gonna get on that, because you fired your coach at 2-2 because Aaron Rodgers had a temper tantrum. You know, I don't know what that means. I don't even know what that obsession would possibly be. That seems ridiculous of a question to ask somebody. I'm talking football, yeah. I'm talking football, and you're talking about something that is a 2-year-old would say. I mean, obviously, it's probably, yeah, there you go. A little bit better. Something that's like something that a 2-year-old wouldn't put up, like maybe an adult, you know. But as I said, like if Aaron Rodgers and the Jets lose tomorrow night, There better be some questions for Aaron Rodgers if he doesn't win the football game. Because I'll tell you what, they gave 4 first-round picks up for Aaron Rodgers. Now, even Deshaun Watson, the same thing. I mean, he's terrible. He should be benched. And even the fact that they almost still won today is just crazy enough. But, you know, the Jets, they got a lot of questions. Today the Giants, I think Joe Burrow's probably going to go off. I don't think the Giants are even going to score. I don't think they score 20 points, the Giants, but we'll see what we got. But those are my takes. But anyway, I said the Texans and the Steelers right now are really playing good football. Um, the Detroit Lions are playing good football. Those are the 3 teams that I think are playing the most at the highest level right now. And that's just like observation. The Ravens are starting to do it, but the Ravens, this is going to be the Ravens' year. The Ravens can't make it far enough. You're going to have to start questioning some things in Baltimore. And I think the head coach, even too. But right now, I think Mike McCarthy should be kicked out. I think you got to fire Mike McCarthy. Obviously, Antonio Pierce, this is his first full year. So you got to give him the year. But I don't know how Antonio Pierce is going to win with the Raiders. It proved it today again. You have Aiden O'Connell out there. You can't put points on the board. You don't have depth to put points on the board. Mark Davis failed the Raiders again. He just failed the Raiders. He keeps failing them, and this is what happens. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here though, but those are my takes on it. I always try to do a Sunday night recap of things. Um, thoughts, comments. We're gonna get the video up and running. Hopefully, people take it. If you did, subscribe to it. See if we can get the algorithm to share it. The X-Man promotion page on YouTube, and we're gonna keep going. Like I said, we're gonna start doing podcasts soon. I'm gonna start bringing people on to see if we can get something going here, and we'll run the numbers, and then we'll see what we got. So anyway, I'm gonna get off here. X-Man out.